But understand this, life is hard. No matter who you are, there are bumps and hits and bruises along the way. And my advice is to prepare yourself, because football lessons teach us that success and achievement come from overcoming adversity, and that team accomplishment far exceeds anyone's individual goals. To be successful at anything, the truth is you don't have to be special. You just have to be what most people aren't. Consistent, determined, and willing to work for it. No shortcuts. If you looked at all my teammates here tonight, it would be impossible to find better examples of men who embody that work ethic, integrity, purpose, determination, and discipline that it takes to be a champion in life.
What if I told you that the greatest football player of all time was almost never drafted? That 198 other players were chosen before him? That 6 teams passed on him multiple times, and even his own team didn't believe in him enough to start him? Today, I'm going to tell you the incredible story of how Tom Brady transformed from the 199th pick in the NFL draft to becoming the undisputed GOAT of football. This isn't just a sports story. This is a masterclass in resilience, determination, and proving everyone wrong. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what it takes to turn rejection into greatness. Picture this. It's April 15th, 2000. The NFL draft is underway, and a skinny kid from Michigan is sitting at home, watching his dreams slowly crumble with every pick that passes. His name? Tom Brady. He's watching as quarterback after quarterback gets selected. Ryan Leaf goes second overall. Chad Pennington goes in the first round. Giovanni Carmazzi, Chris Redman, T. Martin all get picked. Round after round, Brady sits there, wondering if he'll even get a chance. By the time the 6th round arrives, Brady has been passed over 198 times. 198 times. NFL teams looked at this future legend and said no thanks. Can you imagine the mental torture? The self-doubt creeping in? Most people would have given up. Most people would have accepted that maybe they just weren't good enough. But Tom Brady wasn't most people. When the New England Patriots finally called his name with the 199th pick, it wasn't because they saw greatness. It was almost like a consolation prize. They already had Drew Bledsoe as their franchise quarterback. Brady was just depth, insurance, a backup plan they hoped they'd never need to use. Even Bill Belichick, the mastermind coach, didn't see what Brady would become. Nobody did. But here's where the story gets interesting. Instead of being bitter about being picked so late, instead of sulking about the lack of respect, Tom Brady made a decision that would change everything. He decided to use that rejection as fuel. Every single day, he remembered that 199 number. Every practice, every workout, every moment of preparation, he carried the weight of being overlooked, underestimated, and counted out. Brady walked into the Patriots facility with something that can't be taught, can't be drafted, and can't be measured in combine drills: an unbreakable mindset. While other rookies were complaining about playing time or adjusting to the NFL lifestyle, Brady was studying. He was the first one in the building and the last one to leave. He treated every scout team rep like it was the Super Bowl. He knew he had to be perfect, because unlike the first-round picks, he wouldn't get multiple chances to prove himself. The real turning point came in his second season, 2001. Drew Bledsoe, the established starter, went down with a life-threatening injury. Suddenly, this 6th round nobody was thrust into the spotlight. The media was skeptical. Fans were worried. Even his own teammates weren't sure if this unknown quarterback could lead them anywhere meaningful. Brady was about to face the ultimate test. But here's what separates legends from everyone else. They perform when the lights are brightest and the pressure is highest. Brady didn't just manage games. he won them. He didn't just avoid mistakes. He made clutch throws when it mattered most. Game after game, he was proving that draft position doesn't determine destiny. Performance does. The Patriots started winning. Not just winning, but dominating. Brady's calm demeanor in the pocket, his ability to read defenses, and his clutch gene were becoming legendary. But the biggest test was yet to come. Super Bowl X-Cakes against the heavily favored St. Louis Rams, known as the greatest show on turf. Nobody gave the Patriots a chance. The Rams had Marshall Faulk, Kurt Warner, Torrey Holt, and Isaac Bruce. They were supposed to blow out this young quarterback and his team. Vegas had the Rams favored by 2 touchdowns. Sports analysts were predicting a blowout. But Tom Brady had spent his entire life being underestimated, and this was just another chapter in his story. In that Super Bowl, with the game tied and less than 2 minutes left, Brady led the Patriots down the field for a game-winning field goal. A 6th-round draft pick had just won a Super Bowl in his first year as a starter. The kid who was almost undrafted had just beaten the greatest offense in NFL history. This wasn't luck. This wasn't a fluke. This was the beginning of something extraordinary. But Brady didn't stop there. See, most people would have been satisfied with one championship. One Super Bowl would have validated his career, proved the doubters wrong, and set him up for life. But Brady had tasted greatness, and he wanted more, much more. He understood something that most people never figure out. Success isn't a destination. It's a never-ending journey of improvement. Over the next 2 decades, Brady continued to defy expectations. He won championship after championship. He set record after record. He became the face of the NFL and the gold standard for quarterback play. But what's most remarkable isn't just what he accomplished, it's how he accomplished it. Brady never forgot where he came from. That 199th pick became his identity, his motivation, his reminder that nothing was guaranteed. Every single day of his career, he worked like he was still fighting for that roster spot. Every practice, every game, every season, he carried himself like he had something to prove. And that mindset, that hunger, that refusal to be satisfied is what separated him from everyone else. Think about this for a moment. Brady played for 23 seasons. 23 years of getting hit by 300-pound men. 23 years of studying film, working out, maintaining his body, and staying mentally sharp. While other players retired in their early 30s, Brady was still winning Super Bowls at 43 years old. While other quarterbacks struggled with age, Brady was throwing touchdown passes like he was still in his 20s. This level of sustained excellence doesn't happen by accident. It's the result of daily choices, daily disciplines, and daily commitment to being better than yesterday. Brady understood that talent might get you noticed, but work ethic is what makes you legendary. He outworked everyone, outprepared everyone, and outwilled everyone for over 2 decades. But here's where Brady's story becomes even more incredible. At age 42, after winning 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots, most people assumed he was done. He was already the greatest quarterback of all time. He had nothing left to prove. The smart move would have been to retire as a Patriot legend. Instead, Brady made one of the boldest decisions in sports history. He left New England and joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. People thought he was crazy. The Buccaneers hadn't won a playoff game in over a decade. They were considered a franchise in decline. Critics said Brady was too old, that he was chasing a paycheck, that he would tarnish his legacy. Once again, Tom Brady was being underestimated. Once again, he was being counted out. And once again, he was about to prove everyone wrong. In his first season with Tampa Bay, at 43 years old, Brady led the Buccaneers to their first Super Bowl victory in 18 years. He became the oldest quarterback ever to win a championship. He proved that greatness isn't limited by age, circumstance, or expectations. He showed the world that when you have the right mindset, anything is possible. Brady's 7th Super Bowl victory wasn't just another championship, it was a statement. A statement that excellence is a choice, not a circumstance. That your past doesn't determine your future. That being counted out is just motivation to prove people wrong. That age is just a number when you have the heart of a champion. Throughout his career, Brady faced countless obstacles. Injuries that should have ended seasons. Teammates who left for other teams. Coaches who doubted his abilities. Media criticism that would have crushed lesser men. Scandals that threatened his reputation. Age that Father Time uses to defeat every athlete. But Brady faced each challenge the same way he faced being the 199th pick, with determination, preparation, and an unshakable belief in himself. What made Brady special wasn't his arm strength, which was average. It wasn't his speed, which was below average. It wasn't his size, which was adequate, but not impressive. What made Tom Brady the greatest quarterback of all time was his mind. His ability to process information quickly. His understanding of defensive schemes. His composure under pressure. His leadership in crucial moments. His refusal to accept defeat until the final whistle blew. Brady studied the game like a scholar. He watched more film than anyone. He prepared for every possible scenario. He knew his opponent's tendencies better than they knew them themselves. While other players relied on natural talent, Brady relied on intellectual superiority and meticulous preparation. He turned football into a chess match, and he was always 3 moves ahead. But perhaps most importantly, Brady understood the power of team. Despite being the star, he always made his teammates better. He took pay cuts so the team could sign better players. He mentored young receivers and running backs. He held everyone accountable to the highest standards. He created a culture of excellence that elevated everyone around him. Champions don't just perform, they inspire others to perform at their highest level. The numbers from Brady's career are staggering. 7 Super Bowl victories, 5 Super Bowl MVP awards, 3 regular season MVP awards, 15 Pro Bowl selections, 6 All-Pro selections, over 89,000 passing yards, over 649 touchdown passes, 251 regular season wins, 35 playoff wins. These aren't just statistics, they're proof of sustained greatness that we may never see again. But beyond the numbers, Brady's legacy is about something more profound. He proved that where you start doesn't determine where you finish. He showed that being overlooked can be the greatest motivation. He demonstrated that success is earned through daily commitment to excellence. He taught us that age doesn't have to limit dreams. He exemplified what it means to be a champion, not just in sports, but in life. The kid who was picked 199th became pick number 1 in the hearts of football fans everywhere. The player who wasn't supposed to be good enough became too good to be denied. The quarterback who was meant to be a backup became the standard by which all others are measured. Tom Brady didn't just defy the odds, he obliterated them. Here's what we can learn from Tom Brady's incredible journey. First, rejection is redirection. When people count you out, use it as motivation to prove them wrong. That rejection isn't a reflection of your worth. It's an opportunity to show your character. Brady could have been bitter about being picked so late, but instead, he channeled that energy into becoming great. Second, consistency beats intensity. Brady wasn't always the most talented player on the field, but he was always the most prepared. Day after day, year after year, he showed up and did the work. Success isn't about occasional bursts of excellence. It's about daily commitment to improvement. Small improvements compounded over time create extraordinary results. Third, embrace the grind. Brady loved the process as much as the results. He enjoyed the preparation, the study sessions, the practice reps, the film review. While others saw these as necessary evils, Brady saw them as opportunities to gain an edge. Fall in love with the journey, not just the destination. Fourth, never stop learning. Even after 6 Super Bowl victories, Brady was still studying, still improving, still finding ways to get better. The moment you think you know everything is the moment you start declining. Stay curious, stay hungry, stay teachable. Champions are students of their craft. Fifth, surround yourself with excellence. Brady consistently chose to be around people who challenged him, coached him, and held him accountable. Your environment shapes your outcomes. If you want to be great, surround yourself with greatness. Iron sharpens iron. Sixth, performance under pressure separates good from great. Brady's greatest moments came in the biggest games. When the lights were brightest and the stakes were highest, he elevated his performance. Don't avoid pressure. Embrace it. Pressure creates diamonds. Seventh, longevity requires sacrifice. Brady's career lasted 23 years because he was willing to do what others wouldn't. He maintained his body. He followed strict diets. He prioritized sleep and recovery. He made countless sacrifices for his craft. Excellence demands sacrifice. Eighth, leadership is about making others better. Brady's greatest achievement wasn't his individual success. It was how he elevated everyone around him. True leadership isn't about being the star. It's about making the team better. Champions create champions. The Tom Brady story is ultimately about transformation. It's about taking whatever circumstances you're given and refusing to let them define your destiny. It's about understanding that your response to adversity determines your trajectory. It's about believing in yourself when nobody else does, and working like your dreams depend on it, because they do. Brady's journey from the 199th pick to GOAT status isn't just a football story. It's a blueprint for achieving greatness in any field. Whether you're an athlete, entrepreneur, student, or anyone with big dreams, Brady's principles apply to your journey. Excellence is a choice. Success is earned. Greatness is possible for anyone willing to pay the price. Today, when young quarterbacks enter the NFL, they're not compared to Joe Montana, or Peyton Manning, or Aaron Rodgers. They're compared to Tom Brady. He set the standard so high that it may never be reached again. He transformed from an afterthought to the gold standard. He proved that draft position doesn't predict performance, that age doesn't determine ability, and that counting out a champion is the biggest mistake you can make. The next time someone tells you that you're not good enough, not talented enough, not young enough, or not smart enough, remember Tom Brady. Remember that being underestimated is an advantage, not a disadvantage. Remember that proving people wrong is one of life's greatest satisfactions. Remember that your current position doesn't determine your final destination. Brady's story reminds us that champions aren't born. They're forged through adversity, shaped by challenges, and refined by persistence. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every rejection is redirection towards something better. Every obstacle is an opportunity to prove your character. So whatever mountain you're trying to climb, whatever goal you're chasing, whatever dream keeps you up at night, remember the kid who was picked 199th and became number 1. Remember that greatness isn't about where you start, it's about how you finish. Remember that the only limits that matter are the ones you place on yourself. Your journey might not lead to 7 Super Bowl rings, but the principles that got Brady there can take you wherever you want to go. Work harder than everyone else. Prepare better than everyone else. Believe in yourself more than everyone else. And never ever give up on your dreams, no matter how impossible they might seem. The greatest comeback stories start with someone refusing to accept defeat. The greatest success stories begin with someone embracing the struggle. The greatest champions emerge from the group of people everyone else overlooked. Tom Brady's legacy isn't just about football. It's about the power of human potential when it's unleashed through unwavering determination. From 199th pick to GOAT. From backup to champion. From underdog to legend. Tom Brady proved that in the game of life, it's not how you start that matters. It's how you finish. And with 7 Super Bowl rings, countless records, and a legacy that will inspire generations, Tom Brady finished as the greatest of all time. If this story inspired you to chase your own greatness, make sure to subscribe to StoVibe for more incredible stories of triumph, motivation, and success. Hit that notification bell so you never miss content that could change your life. Remember, your greatness is waiting for you to claim it. The question isn't whether you're capable of achieving extraordinary things. The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to get there?